Hi, everybody. We are back again with Shades of Grey, and I'm going to tell you about the next step in your home buying process. So, you have gone through the models, picked your home, paid your earnest money deposit, signed your contract, you picked everything with the design center. Now comes the wait. Why is there a wait? Because in most states, there's a law they can only build so many homes at a time. In the state that I moved to, they can only build six at a time. When I came here, they were they had done six, they were working on six. So you just have to sit and wait. When it's your turn, you'll get a phone call that says, "Hey, we need to have our pre-construction meeting." This meeting is about an hour long. Why? Because they're going to go through every single thing you picked to make sure that it is right. You will sit down with your construction manager. That is the construction guy in the white hat. And he's going to come in with a blueprint book about this thick. In there is every home option that they have for your neighborhood. So he's going to go through his list. He's going to say, okay, you pick this home. He's going to flip through his book. Boom. You pick this elevation. He's going to go through a couple more pages, flip through that. He's going to say, oh, you got this change, you got this change, you got this change. Okay. And he's going to flip through and he's going to get to that page. He's going to show you what the side of your home is going to look like. Because when you went through the model, you saw the side of that home. Every county has its own rules. If you saw in my video, I told you that I got a couple of windows because of the county rules. Just added in some people, if they live in a different county, they had to pay for those windows. I got it for free. So he's going to show you based on county rules. This is what the side of your house is going to look like. This is what the back of your house is going to look like. Here's where all of your sewage stuff is going to be at. Here is where, if you got a fireplace, this is where the chimney's going to be. This is how the roof is going to look. Let's go through all your structural changes. You added on a morning room. You decided to finish the basement. You did this, you did this, you did this. Then he's going to say, okay, let's go through everything you sent to the design center. You got mounted TVs. You got these cabinets. You got this countertop. You got this, 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 you got this. He's going to say to you, is everything I said right? You have to try to remember, or as I did, I went with a piece of paper that told me, that reminded me of everything that I chose. Because the design center is going to send you paperwork showing you everything that you chose to make sure that it's correct. So take that with you. Take that as a reference. They're going to show you how your kitchen is going to be structured based on what options you chose. As you guys saw in my video, I had a trash can built into one of the cabinets. So he showed me what that would look like. Um, then they're going to tell you about your grass, if they give you grass. Now, there are builders that do not give you grass. There are builders where gutters are extra. So you'll find that all out when you go to the design center. Um, and what else they're going to tell you? Then he's going to give you the rules. The rules for one, visiting your property, because they know that as a consumer, you want to see your house as it's being built. One rule that he gave to me was, come after 5 o'clock. If you come during business hours, you're more likely to have to wear a hard hat because they're working. Another one was come on weekends. You can come anytime you want on the weekend, but be respectful to the neighbors because there are people who may have already moved in. They don't need you bumping music at 10 o'clock at night visiting your house. Like, be mindful of the fact that you are probably going through a half done neighborhood. Um, after we talk about that, he then said, "Hey, here's my phone number. Before you come to the house, text me. Let me know you're coming. Why? Because I don't want you walking in if I know that we haven't checked to see if it's structurally sound." He said, "You may be able to go in through the first floor, but I haven't tested the steps yet to make sure they are sound for people to walk on. So if you go on the stairs and you fall through because you didn't text me and ask me, is it okay? Then there's going to be a problem." I texted him once. I texted him before every single time I visit, but one time I texted him and said, "Hey, I'm going to visit this weekend. Is there anything I should know?" He was like, "Yes, the wood framing is up, but don't go inside yet. They're still working on the roof." and there's things that can still fall down. I was like, cool. So I took a picture of the outside of the house. And when I went there, funny, it was a weekend, but there were guys there nailing the roof. So they were making the roof sound. The first time I texted my construction manager, he kind of said to me, "Hey," I said, "Hey, I'm going to go visit my first time. Is there anything I should look out for?" He said, "Yeah, the humongous hole in the ground." Being funny. So I got there and there was a huge hole in that ground. Like you're sitting there going, "Oh my gosh!" Like that's the first time they break ground. Like legit, they're building a house. Another time I went, the foundation had to be poured. One time when he told me, "Hey, not much work has been done because of the rain. Rain slows them down. Snow they can deal with because snow makes the ground hard. They can keep working around it. It's rain that is their enemy. So know that when it rains, your date is slowly getting pushed back. Now they could recover depending on where they are in the build, but please understand that rain is their enemy. Uh, and ask all the questions you want in this meeting. I asked about the grass because I'd seen it in other people's videos where they didn't have any. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna give you grass. We're gonna give you bushes too." Like to him, that was funny that there were builders out there not giving people grass, but it happens. Um, he also gave me an inspector sheet. What that is that if you have someone come and inspect the property, they need to know that person's name, the company they work with, and the insurance that they have. Why? Because if that person inspects something, says that everything's okay, and then later on you found something's wrong, you can sue your inspector, and that inspector's insurance pays for it. So he gave me this form and said, anytime you have somebody come to inspect the property, they need to fill out this form and you send it to me. That way I know that that inspector is insured. Uh, Once you leave this meeting, I want you to leave this meeting feeling like all your questions were answered. It's a lot to take in. It is a lot to take in because you're getting a lot of information at one time. And he told me several times, he's like, "I know you're not going to remember this. So I'm going to restate this the next time you see me, or I'll restate this in our next visit, or when we do our first inspection, I'll restate this again." So understand that you're going to be given a lot of information in an hour, but just take it all in. Ask every question that you want to ask. Write some down. Before you go there, I had a list of 7 questions. Unfortunately, I don't have them anymore. I erased them once I was done. Um, but ask every question you want to ask. This is the person who is in charge of building your home. They are going to have weekly visits with the construction crew to let them know that, hey, this week we're going to do this. This week we're putting in the cabinets. This week we're installing the toilets. So it's your right to ask every question. You've put down the earnest money deposit. This is going to be your house. So be open, be honest. There's no such thing as a dumb question when it comes to your money. You paid it. You should know everything that's going on with your house at every single moment. My construction manager was available. He told me his times. He's like, if you text me after 8, I'm not going to text you until the next morning. It's family time. I respect that. So I would usually text him on Wednesday around noonish, and I would visit the property on a Saturday. I visit my property every Saturday after payday. So every 2 weeks, I visit the house. Um, and then I always send him like I said, I send him a text message on Wednesday saying, "Hey, I I want to visit. What's going on." One point, the insurance company, homeowner insurance, and the information about the house. I just didn't know, like what type of stuff had been done to the roof. If there was going to be sprinklers. I didn't know. He had mentioned it in the pre-construction meeting that there were going to be sprinklers added to my house. I forgot by the time the insurance company contacted me. So the insurance company, I texted him the list of questions the insurance company sent me. I was like, "Hey, this isn't an emergency at the moment, but I need these questions so I can get the homeowner's insurance and get the best price." So I sent him a list of those questions that they asked me, and within I think 4 hours, he got back to me with all the answers to my questions. One by one, he answered them. So my construction guy was amazing. His name was Jim Cranston. He was an absolute doll, and he put me at ease at a lot of things, and never made me feel like I was dumb for asking the question. He understood that, you're a first time home buyer, you're nervous, you're spending a lot of money over a lot of years, and so you have the right to ask any question you want to ask. So, if your construction person is making you feel bad or making you feel dumb or feeling like you're being annoying, don't bother with that person, or complain to the company. Luckily, I had a construction manager who was absolutely a doll to work with, and I would do business with him in a heartbeat again. And even after, as you guys can see, I've moved in. Um, he still, he says, I'm still available. Don't ever think that you can't text me if you have a question. He was like, if I don't know the answer, I can. He said, well, I always know the answer, but if I can't get to you, I know, who to contact. I will send. He sent me a list of the contacts for like heating and flooring. He sent me the list of contacts with people, but he was like, if you ever forget, if you ever lose it, contact me. I'll send it again. And that way, if things need to get fixed, they'll get fixed. So that's your pre-construction meeting and a run through. Remember, ask as many questions as you want. It is your money. It is your home. You have a right to know everything, and you are not bothering them because they're getting paid. All right. So with that being said, in life there's black and white, but because today it's only me, then you guys only getting one shade of gray. I'm sorry. Bye, guys.